Hey friends, Dandelion here, and I just wanted to share some wonderful things as I was working in the Apothecary garden. Really excited about this herb. This is actually called Spilanthes, and it's otherwise known as toothache plant. And I'll show you. So what I've made so far is a tincture of Spilanthes, and I've been taking it and drying it, and I plan on making an infused oil as well, because it's also called the toothache plant. And actually my friend Lauren had a toothache, still has a toothache, and actually we used a little bit of tincture on a gauze and put it on her gums, and it worked so amazingly. So it's definitely a really amazing plant and grows with little effort. We've gotten a whole bunch of it. So we use these super cheap dehydrators, which you can probably find on Craigslist or whatever. You can probably find them for free. Let's see. Let there be light somewhere. That'll work. Oh. So what I'll do is I'll just pinch off parts of this and put it on the dehydrator, and then in about 2-3 hours it'll be dried, and then I'll have Spilanthes dried, and then it'll go into this jar. So this is kind of a flowering top. That's what I've been harvesting. So you kind of pinch off at the nodes. That's always recommended. So for example, this is a node, and so I'd pinch it off there, off the plant, and that's going to encourage it to continue growing and go to flower. Now there was one plant that started to get kind of bug eaten, and so I harvested it down so that it has the resilience in the roots to kind of spring back, and maybe we'll get a little bit more growth before the fall. So Spilanthes is a really powerful herb, actually has similar compounds to Echinacea. The Echinacea root also has that really numbing flavor. So actually if you nibble a leaf, your mouth goes entirely numb and you feel like you've licked a battery. It tastes like kind of battery acid, or like if you've ever taken a 9-volt battery and you put it up to your tongue and it has that kind of stinging effect. That's kind of what Spilanthes does, and so that's why it's really great for your gums and really helpful for tooth aches, tooth infections, any pain. So you can also apply it topically. As I mentioned, what I'm going to do is make a tooth oil, a teething oil. So this will be really helpful. I'll use maybe sesame oil, because that's really mild for children, and I'll infuse some of the Spilanthes into that, and from there it can be applied to a baby's gums, or this might be kind of awkward, but on the mother's nipple, and then the baby can suckle it off, but you'd need really diluted amount, and it might make her nipple feel extremely funny because of that numbing effect. So with Lauren, it worked really well. It was really amazing to see. She was very impressed. We had tried all the others, including clove oil can also work, and kava powder. I found kava powder was really amazing for toothaches. So you can just apply some of the powder to the gums and it numbs your mouth. And then Spilanthes seems to be the #1. So it's a really great herb, but of course whenever you're dealing with toothaches, you don't want to just numb the pain, because if you have a tooth, if you have an infection in your gums, it can be dangerous, so you still need to address that. Now the Spilanthes, pretty much all of the ones mentioned, will also help with the infection. It will absorb into your bloodstream, your gums, and fight infection, so it can help. But don't be resistant towards getting x-rays, for example, to make sure that your protocol is working and it's not just creating an abscess into your brain and killing you. That would not be fun, and it would give herbalism a bad name. So Spilanthes is an amazing herb. Definitely get to know it. And we have now Spilanthes tincture if anybody is in need. So always feel free to email us at herbalcsa@returntonature.us. And soon we'll have the infused oil, so you can always send us an email if you're curious. Listen to the animals. This is Spilanthes. That's what I've been working with. If anybody's just joining, you can check out the whole video as soon as I'm done here. It'll go to the little pre-recorded area. So this is a little video on Spilanthes. Really amazing, potent herb for numbing pain, specifically with toothaches. And enjoy. Send the world lots of love. Does anybody have any questions about Spilanthes or making medicines or anything like that? So here's again the tincture, 50% alcohol. I did dry. You can also do fresh. But since there's so much of the plant, we have 3 plants growing, and it's just kind of, I come here, I'll harvest a bunch and dry it, and then come back and make some tincture later. So it's a good way to preserve it, and it still seems to be extremely potent once you dry it out. So certain compounds are removed when it's dried. Susie Q says, where's it found? I don't know where it's native to. I have a feeling like Africa or something. But it's definitely easy to grow in Zone 7. We just grew 3 plants. It grew really well. So we're in New Jersey, and it totally grew wonderfully. We had 3 plants going. So I was really impressed. You know, we started from seeds and nursed them along and put them in pots actually, and they're just proliferating. I can actually show you. Look outside. There's one of them that I just clipped back. Still has flowers on it and lots of buds. And then another here, which I clipped back as well. Left a couple more flowers on there. So Spilanthes, S-P-I-L-A-N-T-H-E-S. Spilanthes. I'm sure that's part of the Latin name. Spilanthes something. So if you ever have a tooth infection or a need for some numbing, it can also be applied topically to any part of your body, specifically in a targeted area, an acute issue. Feel free to send us an email or track yourself some Spilanthes down or grow it and make your own magical medicines. And have a beautiful day. Sending you all lots of love and blessings. Enjoy.